Hi there, Dr. Andrea Shanevsky from Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health in the Peoria Metro Center and our YouTube channel, Health and Horsepower. This week, I want to talk to you about how to unwind and align by using yoga as a stress relief tool. So there are many different types of yoga that are available and out there. There's yoga flow, where basically you're going from one pose into the next in a kind of a chronological order so that you are gradually stretching and kind of loosening up your joints. We can also do chair yoga, which is really easy to do if you have mobility issues, if you have balance issues, if you sit at a desk all day, if you travel for work all day, or if you're on your feet all day. You can also use chair yoga as a tool to loosen up your joints and also to help with stress relief. So what's really great about yoga is we are combining not only stretching and poses and motions that are going to unlock muscle tension and help to loosen up our joints, but it's also going to use a combination of breathing as well as mindfulness of kind of understanding what your own body is doing so that we can use that as a stress relief tool. So for today, I'm going to show you 6 simple poses that you can do kind of like chair yoga. So you can do these on the couch. Honestly, I would recommend more of a structured chair, like a kitchen chair or even office chair to do these, but I'm going to show you how to do these stretches. So I have 6 stretches. The first 2 are the cat-cow. So you may have seen some of the cat-cow stretches we've done in the past where you're arching your back up and down. I'm going to show you how to do that in a chair. I also have some stretches we can do for our hips as well as the back of our legs, because anytime you're sitting for long periods of time, your hamstring muscles, as well as your calf muscles, as well as your hip muscles and your pelvic floor tend to tighten up, and that can actually contribute to back pain as well as sciatica. So I want to make sure that I include those stretches because I think they're really helpful. And then I also want to include some stretches to stretch your upper body and shoulders, just to loosen up the muscles in your back, because a lot of times, again, if you've been standing or sitting all day, we're compressing our spine. So we want to kind of open that up and kind of unwind any tension that we have. So I will jump in with those 6 stretches next. The very first stretch we are going to do is called the cat-cow. So there's 2 positions for this stretch. We're going to use a nice firm chair. So like I said, you can use a firm chair or an office chair. I would probably be careful if you have a softer chair because it might be hard to get a good grip for balance. So this first one here, what we're going to do is we are going to arch our back. So I would recommend that you take your hands and put them on your knees. We're going to tuck our chin down towards our chest, and we are going to stretch our shoulder blades away from our spine so that we're rounding out our back and kind of pulling everything away from the spine. So you're going to grab onto your knees, you're going to tuck your chin, you're going to pull your shoulders away and arch your back backward. You should feel that stretch kind of right between your shoulder blades and your upper back. That's going to help to open up those muscles. I would recommend doing 30-second holds with a nice deep breath to help stretch out those muscles. And I would make sure that you're doing at least 1 minute total, so 2 times. So you're going to, again, put your hands on your knees, you're going to tuck your chin down, and you're going to rock your shoulders and kind of curl forward so you feel that stretch between your spine and your shoulder blades, and maybe even your upper back and shoulders too. And this is going to help to open up and stretch those muscles that have been tight all day. The second half of the stretch is called the cat. So for this one, we're going to scooch a little bit further to the front of our chair. We're going to put our hands behind us, and what we're going to do is the opposite of that. So now we're going to put our head backwards. Now, if you have neck issues, you may have to be careful with this one. You might not be able to extend your head as much. If you have vertigo, same thing. With this, we're going to actually open up our chest muscles and kind of pull and stretch forward so that we're getting stretching on the front side of our body. So again, put your hands behind you, put your head back, and then you're going to pull your shoulders open so you're arching backwards. And this is going to open up the front of your neck, the front of your chest. And again, you want to do 30 seconds with nice deep breaths. So you're breathing in, you want to inflate your belly, hold it, and then blow it out through a straw. And again, you want to do 30-second holds with those. Okay, so for these next 2 stretches, we are going to be stretching out the back of the legs and the hip muscles. When you're sitting all day, or you're driving all day, or sometimes if you're on your feet all day, those muscles tend to tense up. So this first one we're going to do is going to be a stretch for the back of our legs. You're going to put your feet out in front of you, and you want to make sure that your knees are straight. I would recommend sitting on the edge of your chair so that you have and can extend your legs all the way down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your arms overhead, and you're going to stretch forward as far as you can. As you do this, you're going to feel a stretch in your back. You're going to feel a stretch in your back of your legs as well. Now, sometimes if you do have some issues with mobility, you may need to do this one at a time. So feel free to bend one leg and do one side first where you're stretching down to touch your toes. And then you want to hold that again 30 seconds. Nice deep breathing as you do this. If you keep your heel on the ground and you keep your knees straight, this is going to actually stretch out the calf muscle and the hamstring at the same time. So you can do one side, then the other. You can do both at the same time, whatever works best for you so that you have balance and you're able to do these. So you're going to, again, stretch forward. You want to stretch as far as you can, so you don't need to be super flexible if you're not. We just want to make sure we're feeling that stretch in the back of our leg. And again, 30-second holds, nice deep breathing as we're doing this stretch. And then you can switch sides, or you can do both at the same time. Again, start with your arms overhead and lean forward to feel that stretch in your hamstrings and your calf muscles. The next stretch we're going to do is for the hips. So for this one, what we want to do is we want to actually cross our ankle over top the other leg. Now, if you do have a mobility issue, if you've had a hip replacement, you won't be able to do this stretch, so I can show you a modification. But after we get our ankle on the opposite knee, our goal is to apply some pressure down on that knee so that we're getting rotation of our hip. You may feel that more in the buttocks area. You may feel it a bit more, like if you have sciatic pain, you might feel some of that sciatic stretch, but you're gonna press down and hold that. If you can get your knee parallel with the ground and not hiked up like this, then the next step would be to stretch into it and continue doing that deep breathing. You will want to repeat this on both sides. If you do have a hip replacement, I would recommend sitting on the edge of the chair, and what you want to do is you want to do kind of rotation, almost like a clamshell type of stretch. So you're applying some pressure on the inside of the leg so that we're getting that rotation outward. But we won't be able to do that full twist as I showed you with the first one. So you can also do this standing and holding onto the chair. So for this one, you can take the leg and basically rotate outwards to feel that stretch in the hip. So that's a modification for that one. Last two stretches. Now these ones are going to be more for your spine. So if you've been sitting all day or standing all day and you're compressed, these are going to help to open that up. The first thing that we want to do is we want to take a nice deep breath and lift our rib cage up. I would recommend bringing your arms overhead, and what we're going to do, you can place one arm down. We're going to lean over to the side so that we feel that stretch on the opposite side that we're leaning away from. I would recommend taking breaths into that side. So you're going to breathe in, hold it, and then blow it out through a straw. That's going to help to stretch the muscles of your spine and also the muscles between your rib cage. So if you're getting cramping, if you're getting rib pain, if you're getting spasms, this can help tremendously with that. You'll do the same thing again to the other side. And then our very last stretch for today is actually going to be a twist. So for this one, what we want to do is we want to keep our knees facing forward, and we are going to take our right hand on our left knee. We're going to grab the back of the chair, and you're going to lift sideways. You're twisting your upper body sideways, and you're going to breathe. Again, lifting the rib cage, hold that breath, and then you're going to blow it out through a straw. If you do tend to get a lot of spasms in your lower back, that rotational motion may set that off. If that's the case for you, what you can actually do is you can sit in the chair with your arms overhead, and instead of twisting, you can lift one arm up, take a nice deep breath, lift that rib cage as you're seated, and then switch sides. So lifting the side of the spine up with your hand, lifting your rib cage, and letting that muscle stretch up and down rather than twisting so it doesn't set off a muscle spasm. So hopefully these exercises will help you out, and you'll be able to do some yoga at work or at home at the end of the day to help with some stress relief.